Hi guys, welcome to episode 5. What did we talk about
Today,
in this one?
We had a lot of a chat about making a bit of a mistake with a hard drive.
Yes.
We had a chat about magic.
Darren
Brown, a few things in between. I think we went a fair bit off script.
We went rogue.
We had a chat about PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
We had a chat about...
A whole bunch of... I've forgotten, to be honest.
Yeah.
But know this, it's good. So get while the getting's good and tune in to this episode of the podcast.
Fantastic, because we're just about to tune out. Choyers.
Well, welcome back. Here we are at episode 5 now. Wow, time flies. Thank you, everyone, for tuning back in. I'm here. I'm Cody Jones.
That's right.
And this is...
I'm Broden. How you going? Now, if you're just tuning in, this may potentially be the very first visual episode you're seeing, which will lead us straight to our first point for the day, is we've had a bit of a mishap.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. Hard drive, which has all the episodes, all the footage, all of our content, stupidly only on one hard drive. Took a fall and hit the ground. Horrible state of affairs. Now it's making a noise where it's going, we plug it in and it's not recognising.
Yeah.
Now, Broden analysed it.
Yep. Reckon we know what the situation is, but it was one of those things that was just perfect, honest mistake of you're like, no one has enough space on their hard drive to store 200 gigabytes of shit. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, like, you don't just put it on your computer. You just go straight from the SD cards and you back it up to an external hard drive so it's not clogging your computer up.
Yes.
And then you put that into your session files. You work on them as you on a different computer, obviously. And then, because, we're quote-unquote on location. We're not going into a room with a fucking desktop computer in it.
Well, yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? So... then the situation had been the hard drive just seemed to be a little too close to the edge of the table and took a tumble. And what we believe has happened is that if anybody's familiar with how a hard drive operates, it's kind of like a little CD and it spins, but it's like a double-stacked metal CD. And there's these reed heads that sit between those discs, and we reckon those reed heads are stuck, stopping the motor, because what we can hear is the motor labouring.
Yep.
That turns the thing, goes... And it just...
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
And what we're going to do is, because Broden feels like he has the fix to it, and you're quite good at... you're quite a handyman when it comes to... You're a nerd.
You should be able to fix anything that you have. You should, A, be able to fix, and B, have the ability to fix it. You know what I mean?
What?
Like
my car?
Yeah, absolutely. You could fix that. You could get the manual out and you could learn how to fix your car. Many people have done before you. You know what I mean?
Could I give it a wheel alignment?
Fuck yeah, absolutely you could. Yeah, if you learn how to do it, you could do it. If you own a piece of equipment, you should have the right to repair it for one, and you should be able to attain the ability to, I mean, obviously, considering you don't have any kind of physical limitations, but if you own a car, I think that you should...
Well, you
should be able to learn how to fix it if you wanted to.
What we're going to do is, and what we'll film this. So tomorrow morning Broden's going to have a crack at repairing it, and I'm going to jump on the camera and film the process. And it's going to be either a triumphant victory, or it's going to be a devastating loss. But not a huge loss, because the audio still goes out. So if you're listening,
then you're not missing shit. You're not missing anything.
You're not missing much. You just
or if you're blind, then you're not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you're missing a lot of the world, but you're not missing our ugly mugs on the screen.
Yeah, but that's...
But the other thing,
some would argue that's better.
The other thing about this situation is that we can't really lose, because at the end of the day, we've recorded 5 hours of really good shit, and it's going to go out whether there's video or not. Yes. But it just seems like, setting up all these nice lights and stuff. You know what I mean? Setting up
I don't like to think about that.
It'd be a bit of a shame to see it disappear if we didn't get to recover it, but. At the end of the day, like you said, we do have another opportunity of redemption. We can film either the failure or the success of
I can't wait.
On our own.
I actually can't wait to see how we go.
It's going to be unnerving, because you can damage these hard drives.
Yeah.
If they get stuck, and if the little heads have bent in a particular way and you have to turn the disc and pull these things out, you can scuff and scratch.
But you're a delicate man.
Oh, they're trying to say effeminate, are you? No, I mean, I don't have as much finesse as I would like, and maybe not enough to do this particular task, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because
I can't wait.
We don't have the cash to go and get someone to do this. Data recovery prices are disgusting.
Are they really?
Yeah, because it's such delicate stuff.
Surely we've got friends out there listening to the podcast or maybe watching, depending on how the event goes. It doesn't. I can't really tell people to come and help us because it's going to be in the future.
They're going to see this so much later after we've either fucked it or not. So
yeah, what you should know is that this podcast is pre-recorded. The way we do things, just for our ease, is we record everything and we bank it up. So that way it takes the stress out of the situation. And also I feel you can get in a bit more of a flow state, if you'll pardon the...
What's that? What did you say? Getting more
I said flow state.
Oh, right. Oh, that's
yeah.
flow state.
When you're doing shit back to back to back, and
It's
you're
like
getting more of a
binge watching,
motivated.
but for people who make stuff.
You stay in the zone. You stay in the zone a little bit.
That's it.
So, yeah.
No, I agree with that 100%. And that's the thing, is that who's got time? You know, people are trying to survive, people are trying to work to live and stuff like that. So if you get, wow, I've got a couple of days where I don't have to work till midday. Sweet, let's get together and pump 3 out,
Yeah.
Because you can do it and you've always got something different to talk about. If you have planned a little bit, you can get some stuff done. Or if you have a funny mishap, it'll lead to,
hopefully
15, 20 minutes of conversation that you can have.
That's right. Which is
in our caper fucking valuable.
I agree. I think this is good. I think what's happened here is good.
Yeah.
It's funny what you said before about how people don't have time, and you're right. But if you break down what life is and what we're doing as a human race and what exactly it is, that we're just... people should be panicked, in much more state of panic than they are.
Yeah.
Because for starters, you're on a rock that's spinning around. If it stops spinning, that's the end.
You're done.
If the sun goes away, if it burns out, we're done. There's people that can get a gun and shoot you in the face. There's people that could grab a knife and stab you in the chest. And they could do that at any stage. You could be standing there waiting for a train and a person could just push you in front of the train. But everyone seems to be bizarrely calm all the time.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I'm so calm I didn't even listen to what you said. No, I didn't. But that's the thing, is that we are. And
anyone can kill you.
Everyone's living like they come back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they get to come back like they're just, they're like, well, I've got to do all this, got to do all this stuff. I'll do it now so that, I can relax later. But you could
I can get a caravan and go around Australia.
But that's great to do when you're fucking incapable of doing it. You have to stop for every 20 minutes to empty your catheter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't get to come back. You might as well have a crack now. I'm not saying you should go and leave your family and fuck a whore. Or if you want to do that too.
Yeah, Jesus.
People got to work.
Yeah.
Still, but you also, people work hard. And especially with the rate of, let's not get too crazy into it, but the inflation of the cost of living versus the pay. The productivity of people goes so high up, but the pays don't go along with that.
That's true.
So, your parents will be like, well, why haven't you bloody bought a house yet? It's because your house cost 40 grand, which was 2 years' pay back when you bought your house. And in my fucking case, my mum paid for her house with the fucking money she got when she cut her fingers off at work. She had her fingers cut off at work.
Jeez, that's
fingers
terrible.
cut off at work. And I love my mum and I love my dad too, but they've never said this to me. They've never had the conversation because I don't think they had the fucking nerve to. Why haven't you saved up for a house? We own our house. And they wouldn't say this because they're not the type of people. But if they ever said that to me, I'd be like, of course you own your fucking house. You got your fingers cut off and paid for the fucking thing.
Yep.
The block of land cost you $3,000 and you bought it off your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
My parents
great.
don't. And why didn't you people buy more fucking land out of that? You owned your house when you were 30. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have been in the game. You never bought any extra stuff. But now the expectation is, buy a house, and if you're a person who's on $35,000 to $50,000 a year, you need $60,000 to provide as a deposit for a lot of situations, right?
Right.
There's modern and more newer things that you can do now to get into that game, and I'm pursuing one of them at the moment, which I'll get into. But basically, if you want to buy a house that somebody's already built, you need a fucking big deposit. How are you going to get that if you're just like a single person on a normal, like regular shit munching retail wage or whatever?
Well,
how do you save that money? What do you
you do have to sacrifice
a lot,
purely.
So much
And
in fact that work becomes your life.
Yeah, it comes down to what you want. What do you want?
If you want it bad enough, you will fucking suck a fat cock. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is you got to get on your knees and suck the cock of work until...
Yeah, like guys that go away and work in the mines.
Oh, yeah.
And they come back and granted, they get good time off.
And they get good cash. They
And
do hard work,
They
though.
hard work.
That's the thing is like, I'm not built for that. You know what I mean? I can't do that. So am I limited because of that? Do I deserve an equal opportunity?
But I think...
No, I don't, because I'm not fucking ready for that.
I think you could go and work there, though.
Probably could.
It'll take you a month to get in the swing, but then you'd be like used to the hard work.
Yeah. I probably also
It'd
fucking
be shit.
shoot myself in the head. But
Yeah, that's...
Because that's not what I would do. That's not what I'm made for. You know, and I know that.
Yeah, mining's a weird thing. It's like everyone's got to make ends meet, but it's like the job that they made slaves do back throughout history.
That's
It's
why
like,
they get paid so well, I suppose. Cause,
now it's like, it's hard work. We used to make it used to be the worst job, and it probably still is.
Yeah.
Being underground like that, like you got to take your hat off these people that are willing to go down there and work, because you're just fucking risking it all. It's dangerous. It's hot.
I give
shaking hands with the devil.
I could give credit to anybody who can work underground for so long and still come out with a tan. And a lot of these guys, these miner dudes, I had a chat to a bloke the other day. He works up in Perth.
Is it because they're near the core?
No, I have no idea. They must spend a bit of time up above the ground, I'm sure. But like I was talking to a guy and he said, he goes, I hate it. He goes, I like the work. I don't mind the work and I don't mind the money. But nothing's worth being pulled away from your loved ones for that long. Like, you know, he's trying to get married to this bird and he barely sees her. You know what I mean?
That's terrible, I think. I would imagine that's horrible for a relationship.
I mean, they're having a great time and they love seeing each other and they have the best time and all this stuff, but he just hates being away. And so this particular gent, he's working on getting out of that industry and doing it into something else.
Yep.
Because, you know, I said, he knows what's important to him and he knows... That's what do you want? What are you prepared to sacrifice? Are you prepared to sacrifice your job for your family? And he's had the job. He's done a good wicket in that. And luckily enough, he's in a situation in that position that he can transfer his skills to another industry. Lucky, good. You know what I mean? Well, not lucky. He made his own luck.
Yep.
He chose that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's lucky. It's good to be born into a place where you can have a few options.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where sadly, like a lot, that is luck. That's drawing the long straw. You know what I mean? Whereas so many people around the world
don't have that.
Don't waking up in Africa. What do you do today? Oh, it's the same thing I do every day. I walk 5 miles just to get water to live. And like people complain here, don't they? It's like, I do the same thing. I fucking walk and walk. Oh, are you going to say that fucking thing? Move closer.
Yeah,
to
you reminded me of that thing.
Such a hack.
Who said that?
It's just the hack joke.
I know. It's just who said it.
I don't know who said it, but it's
because it's like I have to walk 5 miles to water. We'll move closer to the water.
I've heard like 6 comedians do it in my career. Just at open mic nights. It's like, he walks bloody 5 miles and they try and get people's emotions going and it's hard to do it like at open mic with 6 people. And he walks 6 miles a day to get water for his family.
And he's like, what are you?
And then everyone's meant to go, you're so funny.
I've seen that one before. Oh, that's a funny one. I've heard that. Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit.
Piece of clay ass.
Fucking piece of shit ass cunt.
Poo ass, bloody ass shit face. Fucking dropping hard C-bombs.
How good, like we've come up with a lot of, I think, collaborative sort of slurs.
100%.
Yeah.
They're all fantastic.
Sort of playing, we play a lot of PlayStation and stuff.
No, we do.
And we get angry and, you know, we come up with like different things to say. Like to call someone, one of ours is a piece of clay.
Piece of clay.
What is a piece of clay?
So piece of clay came about, well, basically we were unreasonably picking on this person that we knew, and just not because we didn't like them, because it was fun.
Yeah.
Because we're bullies.
Essentially, yeah. It was bullying. It was a form of bullying. But he didn't know. So
I was like, these guys were talking about this guy, and I'm like, nah, fuck him. And I just come up with the most absurd shit. When you're talking about something that you don't fully believe in, like, you just come up with the most absurd shit. And it was more to make you guys laugh than it was to pick on this person. But I was like, nah, fuck him. You know what he looks like? He looks like a fucking, someone rolled up a piece of clay and just put 2 fucking fork holes in the nostril and then and could just It was just the dumbest thing I probably could have said. And you guys thought it was fucking hilarious. And you're like, he looks like a piece of clay. That's funny. Piece of clay.
Yeah, now it's turned into the piece of clay. Piece of clay ass bitch.
And because we also play Fortnite on, don't judge us, we're grown men. But we play on PlayStation with each other. When they changed over, like this was slightly just before, but when they changed over to Chapter 2 of this game, they put bots in the game, like actual NPC computer-controlled bots, and we would think they were like clay targets, target shooting, target practice.
Clay.
So they're clay. So it's a transferable funding solution. So being a piece of clay it's not always a good thing, but it's also like a term of endearment to your mates. Like if you were to call your mate, hey, cunt, how you doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you piece of clay, what are you doing, you bloody clay ass, you clay ass bitch.
I like the clay ass
bitch. Bloody poo ass, clay ass bitch.
Poo ass, that was a good one, like a big poo ass.
That was filth.
Do you know where... there's an origin to the poo ass. You might hear us say it every now and then. I'm not sure if we've said it in previous podcasts or what have you. Like
trying to be polite.
Yeah, but poo ass, yeah, you poo ass bitch. Fucking poo ass clay ass. Like poo ass has an origin, doesn't it?
Hey, from my local supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the local supermarket and I saw a rather well-endowed lady in all
well-endowed? She had a big cock. Isn't that what that means?
If you're talking about a bloke's cock, then he's got a well-endowed cock, but she was well-endowed in all aspects. When I say that, I mean omnidirectionally endowed. She's quite a large lady.
Okay.
No judgment. I'm like, yeah, cool, large lady. That's fine, man. You know?
He didn't say, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I didn't say, I didn't go up and go, hey, man,
Tony Hawk.
It's really cool how much you've let yourself go. But she, when you get to that point where, like, we have the same size skeleton, essentially, like all of humans. They're basically the same size. But when you get to the point where if I were to roll up into a little ball, as small as I can, and I'm 6 foot, 100 kilo fucking dude, if I roll up into a little ball and you times me by 2, if that's the size of each one of your ass cheeks, you're probably in trouble, right?
Yeah.
And if you have to, I'm not sure that this person was pushing a trolley because they wanted to put food in it, or just because they needed something to lean on, and that's
carry that forward.
You know what
momentum.
I'm saying? Yeah, and just. And this is the thing is, I don't think you should shame anybody for their body, because there's a lot of different circumstances as to the reason that could happen.
No, I don't think saying that they need a trolley to keep them upright in a supermarket is shaming them, to be honest.
No. But
and to say that their ass cheeks are the same size as a 6 foot, 100 kilo man, I don't think that's shaming. So carry on.
So, and then I walked past this person as they went up the ramp, and I went up because I had to go up the ramp. Yeah, and I went up the steps, and I just got a waft of cigarette, just like hardcore cigarette.
You're going up the
steps.
The steps, and that's next to the ramp.
Next to the ramp, because there's a ramp and then there's steps, the old tucker bag. And,
the old tucker bags.
And so I go up the steps, and I'm like, oh fuck, that was like hardcore like smoke smell. And I just was like, oh gee, I don't miss that. But it was like stale smoke, and then so I disappeared, and then I ended up at the deli, and this woman popped up again, and I nearly went in front of her, and I was like, fuck, I just kind of want to avoid the smoke smell, so I went to go around her, and I accidentally ran into the front. I at the deli. She's like, I'm like, oh, you can. She's like, no, you go, love, and I'm like, no, you go, I'll go for a walk, so I don't have to smell your fucking smoke. And then I went around the back of this lady to go to talk to the young girl at the deli, and I just went, hey, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. The smoke was one thing, but when I got around the back, it was just the smell of pooey ass. Just like poo. Just poo ass. And I kind of I was just immediately physically repulsed by the offensive shockwave of fucking stinky, you know what I mean? Like just thick tar smelling poo. And I fucking just recoiled, and then I was like, what do you want? And I'm like, not anything, I don't have an appetite anymore. But I did grab what I needed at the deli.
What do you think was going on there?
I think when you get to
something was going down?
Well, no, I think when you get to a certain size, it becomes a little bit more difficult to wash yourself and take care of your own personal hygiene. And I understand that too. I definitely understand that, and there's not a lot that can be done about it. Oh well, there is, but I'm not going to tell those people how to live. But yeah, I was just like, that's some poo ass. It's what I imagine, like, if just say it's like, this is the visual that I got when I saw it. Because I saw the two big me-sized ass cheeks, like, jumping together and stuff like that. And I just imagined what was going on in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
what was going on?
I just thought of, like, if you ever, like, no one's done this. If you ever, like, in the summer, opened up a packet of Tim Tams and just picked them up with your full fist and then put them down and then rubbed your hands together. It's kind of like a greasy smear, and I just imagined that this like this crack like of area had been lathered up with this smeared out Tim Tam sort of paste, and I just couldn't like.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, and that's when I heard the deli, and I'm going, I just didn't want to get my stuff anymore. Like I don't want feta cheese no more. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't do it. So, but like that's so poo ass, and that's that whole story. You know, pouring my heart out about being slightly discomforted by a non-issue turned into poo ass being a funny thing to say.
It's very funny, poo ass.
Bloody having a bloody poo ass.
Yeah, when you were telling me the first time, you're like, and it was just an absolute poo ass.
Big poo ass bitch. Yeah.
Big poo ass.
Bloody poo ass bitch.
Horrible.
But for, like when I say, I love to say something bitch. Like you like back. I remember I was like a 90s 2000s. Like yo, that's stupid ass bitch. That sort of shit.
You got to say
like,
ass bitch.
Yo, you were ass bitch. Yeah, and I just put an ass bitch on the end of stuff that doesn't make sense is fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Fucking clay ass bitch. Bloody poo ass clay. Just combinations.
The more, yeah, it's like putting the punches together in flurries.
Do you reckon everyone has their own, like all like particular friend groups and stuff like that, have their own like little insult like protocols?
I'd say it's more of a creative touch.
Yeah.
The creative friend might add a bit of a flutter.
Yeah, I like it.
I
like it very much.
A flourish to it. I don't know. I feel like, what's your go-to, like legit, it doesn't have to be an insult, but your go-to. Mine's Jesus Christ. I think that is the best thing you can say ever. Just do, or like if something's like, if I smelt the poo ass, for example, my favourite thing, that my go-to would be Jesus. You know, like a confused, sort of worried, panicked Jesus. I don't know what to think. I don't know where to go. That's my favourite. But when I'm angry or I'm flustered in an aggressive way, it's more like a Jesus Christ.
I just like how you say Jesus. You say Jesus.
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 With like a slick S at the end. There's a Z and then an S.
Yeah, that's the emphasis.
I love how different people say that because I've heard Jesus. Like, and I always used to make. What's the Lord and Saviour's favourite musical chord? Jesus. G suspended.
Good chord.
You like that? Jesus. But like I've heard people say, excuse me, in Australian English, say Jesus, like JEZUZ, Jesus. That's how I say it. I say Jesus. Christ. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, bloody Jesus. But I don't often talk about Jesus. I think I've been partial to saying oh dear lately.
Yeah, yep.
Because I really want to say, well, fucking hell. But I got to be in polite company, and and if you're at work and you're around kids or something, you go, oh dear.
Goodness me.
Yeah, goodness.
Is when I'm floating around. I go, oh, goodness me.
Yeah. But I think fucking hell, I think is another one. I think
fucking hell is
fucking hell. Like
that's a goodie to go. Like that's universal. People know that you're the real deal when you start going, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck me.
Bloody shit ass bitch ass fuck.
When you say fuck me, it makes everyone sort of stressed.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, something's happened.
Fuck me.
When the bloke goes, fuck me. Like if you're at the mechanics and you just hear fuck me coming from the shed, you know someone banged his head and he's in a lot of pain.
Me.
Or he like jammed his hand and he's like, fuck me. You know that only something where it involved him hitting his head or doing something stupid.
Yeah. Because it's his fault. It's not fuck you, it's fuck me.
Yeah. Or if you hear fucking idiot, he's directing it towards like an apprentice or someone else. Yeah.
That's filth. That's very funny.
Yeah, it's great, man. Like there's some great sayings and things. I feel like swearing and cursing and stuff like that. There is a poetry to it. A poetry that's not. It's undervalued. I feel.
I don't trust anyone that hasn't sworn within the first day that I've met them.
Yeah. I've always said that. Like, there's something fishy about someone who exchanges the word "fuck" for fruit or flip. And I know it's like a lot of like devout
like
Christians.
It's brainwashed. Well, yeah, brainwashed
it's
people.
like, well, you can't say it. You can't say
You're brainwashed.
Yeah, brainwashed.
Yeah,
sadly.
You're brainwashed out of saying.
Oh, flipping heck.
Oh, flip.
When someone said flip, I find that 10 times more insulting than if you just 100%. Go, fuck you, Cody Jones, you fucking fat cunt. You know what I mean?
I know I lived in a street with a lot of exclusive brethrens, and now they're the easiest religion to pick on because they'll never find out. Because they're not allowed to have television, they're not allowed to have radio, they're not allowed to have... Who knows how far it's come now, and maybe they've got iPhones and stuff like that. But
if you're an exclusive brethren, please
write in. Send us a text.
Come on the show, actually. That'd be good.
Yeah, I can. Probably can't because you're not allowed to look at a television screen for some reason because you're in a cult. Yeah, I can say that because I'll never find out. But at the end of the day... Well, look,
we don't intend to make... enemies with entire religions.
No. Well, it's not a religion because they don't have tax exemption.
Right.
That's the only difference that makes them a legitimate religion. They're regarded
but that's not the
as
definition of a religion, is it? Or is
no, you're talking about a religious faith. That's separate. But to be an organised religion, which they are not, they need the tax exemption, so they're technically a cult.
Yeah, cults are...
Yeah. I mean, that's very
mass
large
brainwash.
group. Yeah.
Mass... I can't say that.
Brainwashing.
Mass brainwash.
Brainwash.
Yeah.
What
about... there was a Jehovah's Witness sort of person that come to the door.
Oh.
And there's an old retirement home that is on the hill in our hometown called Bethlehem.
Yes.
And they come to the door and they tried to tell us the good word and whatever. Yeah. And Mum answered the door and she was talking to us like, I'm not really interested. Like, oh, okay. Well, we're going to Bethlehem. Would you be able to direct us towards Bethlehem? And then Dad yelled out from like the armchair in the lounge room. He goes, follow the North Star. And that's resonated with
gold.
Me. Yeah.
Because I used to live near Bethlehem. Bethlehem was we had there was a paddock near our joint, and then over the Specimen Hill Road was Bethlehem. And that's hilarious. Because I didn't know Bethlehem was a religious place because I lived near the old folks' home. And they're like, he went to Bethlehem. And I'm like, what the fuck's he doing in Golden Square? What's Jesus doing in fucking Specimen Hill Road?
Yeah, it's funny that they'd call the retirement home Bethlehem. It's like I want to open up a funeral parlour across the road. It's Jerusalem. Where did he die? Where did Jesus die?
I got no idea. Well,
the cross.
The cross, yeah. The crossing.
He died on a mountain. Yeah. I know that.
But I used to have some guys come to my door, the Jehovah's Witness guys, and I knew this particular person's family. I was the father of someone I used to know. And
Mormon, Jehovah's
Witnesses.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses. And at one point, and look, this is the thing is, I know a lot of them that are very, very nice. This guy was just being pushed. He was a salesman. He was a salesman.
That's what they seem to be, though.
Well, Prince was a Jehovah's Witness. And when you are in that faith, I believe, it is a part of it to spread the word. And you have to do that via door knocking.
What's the protocol? Because surely they've done it long enough and they've had enough people say, fuck off from my house. Yeah. That it would like kill the vibe. It's like, no, we don't. We don't want to go out and knock on the doors.
No, but that's the thing is that makes them want to do it more. Is they have to do it because it's part of their faith. And this is the thing is this particular guy was saying to me, we believe that only 44,000 people of the Jehovah's Witnesses faith will get into heaven in history. Only 44,000.
Yeah, there's only 44,000 there. I've heard that before.
And I said, motherfucker, what are you doing knocking on doors then? You slim your chances down by getting more people, and you need to be kicking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to be
one of the only 44,000.
That's right. You want to be in that number, brother. Like, and just think about history's already happened, right?
Where do you go if you don't get to heaven?
They just believe you're dead.
Right.
I don't think they believe in hell. I think you're just in the ground. Okay. But I was just like, why are you talking to people then? Why are you coming knocking on doors? You should be keeping this. This is a fucking secret. He's like, no, that's not how it works. We have to give people a chance. And it's all, selection. There's not Simon Cowell and fucking Howie Mandel sitting on a bench with Rihanna going, "That's fantastic performance, guys. Yeah, we would really love to see you in the next live."
It's about your what you do.
Yeah, apparently so. But apparently bothering people on their fucking one day off is the way to go about it. You get 1 day off. It's fucking seven, mate. I haven't even mowed a lawn.
I haven't seen one since I was a child, though. I think I've seen them walking around, but...
Well, this is the thing. They're hiding in plain sight, Cody. You don't know where they're going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they're always wearing like a white shirt, like a baggy.
Oh, they always look good, man. They were good-looking motherfuckers. They know how to dress. People who believe in religions know how to dress. You know what I mean? I mean, you could probably, if you really wanted to help people, you could spend that $300 shirt money on, buying food for people or whatever. But you know what I mean? I didn't do shit for anybody, so what can I say?
Well, it's funny. Like I did this. I used to work as a tradesman. I went into this job for some people in a small country town, and they had their own sort of these people had their own sort of religion. It was very creepy, culty. Go inside. They might have been exclusive brethren or something like that, but they had no electronic devices apart from like an oven. I think it could have even been gas.
Probably would have been the exclusives.
And it just really freaked me out because they had like a whole bunch of kids. They probably had 6 or 7 kids, and the dad. It was like Flanders.
Yep, sounds like them.
And they were holding hands.
Do they all look the same?
Yeah, they all like creepily they all had glasses, and I was extremely freaked out. Like they had a cello where the TV should be in the house.
Where the TV should be.
So it's like I just had this vision of them like sitting around at night after dinner and just go and play the cello.
That's right. But no one should have a TV. There should be no spot in the house where a TV should be. But I understand what you mean.
It was like a TV cabinet but with a cello on top of it. And but the thing that creeped me out the most was they spent like half an hour before they went to school and work in the driveway holding hands, running around like singing songs to each other, like religious songs.
That's beautiful. I think that's a nice way to live. Imagine liking your family.
Yeah, yeah. But I was absolutely I was only young, but I was just like, I don't like this. For some reason, I was just uneasy. I didn't like the way that they were all acting, and that it was like I don't know what it was, but it just seemed really like this is mass. This could. And it's just an opinion of mine, but I felt like it was mass brainwash, and that's the power of it. You could be tricked into being like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a horrible thing to say because who says I'm right?
But I wouldn't mind being brainwashed. You know what I mean? Like I think, I say that, but
we might be.
Well, I think we are, but for a different thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind if I could be brainwashed into just being happy for a change. You know what I mean? If someone could just brainwash me into just going, this is okay. What you're doing now, just settle for that. This is the right way to do it. Yep. Instead of going, fuck, what should I do? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that?
It's just constant
maybe I should be
questioning.
saving money. Do I need to go on a holiday? Can I afford that right now? Oh, I've got to pay the electricity. If I could just be brainwashed into shutting the fuck up in my own head and just being like, autopilot. I'd love it. I'd love it. Someone, if you can brainwash me, if Darren Brown, if you are out there and you're watching, please. Not only are you a very sexy man, but can you please just shut up. But if you can please just brainwash me into fucking just calming down for 2 seconds so I can enjoy something for once.
He's impressive, that man. He would be able to do it if anyone could.
He's a legend.
Yeah, I like Darren.
Darren's a great man. Darren's a champion. I'm very impressed by Darren constantly.
But he's creepy as well. Like him in the room. If he entered the room, like if we got him on the podcast, hypothetically, and he come in the room, I'd be fucking freaked out.
I wouldn't. I reckon he'd be.
Because you get a bit of an understanding of it, but some of that shit he does, and you've spoiled the magic of it for me. For some only because I asked. But
yeah, that's right. Hey, well, you ask, you get told. You don't ask. You want answers. You ask questions. You wanted answers.
Exactly. Yeah, he does some freaky shit.
He's great, man. I like. There's a book of Darren's that I want to buy, but it's £600 UK.
What the fuck? Oh, is it like a
methods,
reveal all?
Yeah, it's actual methods and stuff.
£600. So it's like a course. You're charging the same amount as you would for like a course.
The reason it is that expensive is because it's very revealing. It's on his methods on how he operates a lot of his psychological illusions, basically psychic illusions, whatever they are. Like
even that though wouldn't be. Yeah, even that wouldn't be the scratching the surface of what he knows.
If you didn't understand the book, it would be useless to you. I mean, you're paying 1,500 Australian for a book, or $1,000, 1,500, 1,200, whatever, for a book.
Something.
Who knows what
It's
the
more than
exchange rate's
pounds.
going to be by the time this goes out.
Yeah.
But it's like having that book and knowing an idea of how he does those things is not going to help you if you don't have any idea of how to make a performance happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you haven't practiced these things for several hours. But the idea of making it prohibitively expensive is really going to weed out people like John down the street who's just gonna, Darren Brown, I've seen him on the telly. Oh, I'll go and buy this $1,500 book. No, he's not going to do that. But I, for example, may buy that book and learn some of the things out of it and turn them into my own things. But if you can learn, and this is the best part about magic stuff. With anything, if you learn how to do something, you can put your own style on it and put your own spin on it and make it your own stuff.
Yep.
It's very cool.
Yeah. You got to. I suppose you can. You can see a lot of magicians do similar stuff, but then the real, like Darren, he comes up with creative ideas on how to use it and how to demonstrate it and how to show people.
I've seen guys do the same thing on the same night completely differently. You know what I mean? They're literally cup and balls. Everyone's got a version of cup and balls, and it's arguably the oldest trick, literally the oldest trick in the book, to the point that it appears in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Yeah,
the cup and balls appears on fucking hieroglyphs. Penn and Teller go there in a series they did in the early 2000s called Magical Mystery Tour. They go to Egypt and they find this actual glyph of the cup and balls. Maybe it was even earlier than that. Maybe it was late 90s.
Cock and balls.
The cock and balls. The old cock and balls trick. Yeah, that's been
We've all got a
cock and balls.
Cock and balls.
Watch me make it disappear. Hey.
Like going back on Darren, like the most impressive thing I've ever seen him do is that show. He did a number of shows. I don't know how. The most impressive one is The Push.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still available on Netflix in Australia, but that was really scary, like horrifyingly.
It opened my eyes up a lot.
Incredible. You could convince a person to do stuff like
there's
that.
Not
Just
a lot
like
of things
putting under the pump.
Yeah, there's not a lot of things I could say in this world that I've watched and then have gone, that's changed my opinion and the way I operate my life. That's one of them.
Yeah, that helped me.
It opened my eyes to a lot of things in my life that I didn't realise.
You don't want to be
happening.
a yes man.
Yeah, and it made me realise that in some aspects of my life where I was being taken advantage of. And not ironically, I suppose, but expectedly, when I addressed those problems, people in those situations acted as expected when confronted, which wasn't pretty. And it was very passive confrontation by putting up the hands, sort of, and going, okay, I'm not going to deal with that. And I've got a suggestion.
Excuse me.
Yep.
So when you put up the resistance,
yep. As soon as I put up the resistance, shit flew off the handle on the other person's behalf.
Really, they just weren't expecting it.
No, they wouldn't deal with it. They turned into basically when you are to confront somebody who's doing a particular thing to you, like
manipulative,
passive aggressive manipulation and all this kind of stuff. And like when basically if you were to do something and I take it off, you go, no, I'll do that. Consistently, and I would go, actually, hang on, I've got this. This is no, it's all right. No props. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like that kind of stuff.
Or if you just go, no, I'm fucking doing it.
That's narcissism and a control freak. You know what I mean? When you confront a person like that, every single problem becomes you. You do this, you do that, you do that, you do this, and it's like, you know what I mean? After I saw that, I addressed.
It's good to dethrone that fucking shit. You know?
Well, after I saw that, I addressed a couple of situations that were happening in my situation in my life, and immediately they were changed.
Better?
I mean, not immediately.
Not immediately. But you know,
everything gets worse before it gets better. But yeah, but it was just interesting that to see that and then to go, well, look, I'm not going to be pushed around anymore. I'm not going to, because it takes a small favor leads to a big favor, and you let somebody grab a hold of your situation and can start to control what you're doing, and then eventually they're
in too deep.
They're in your fucking running your family, running your business, ruining your life, all this whatever. You know what I mean? There can be just many situations in which you can get that out of control.
Yep.
And if you finally take a stand, people don't expect that because that's not the behaviour they're used to, and then they start to lose control, and they don't want that, so they will act out upon that. It's very,
good.
very
it's effective.
Yeah. It's very crazy, but Darren Brown, what a fucking legend. He's such a sweet man too. Like I have. I've seen just about everything he's done, and besides his live Broadway shows, because
he did one where he did he picked the lotto numbers in Europe or something like that?
Yeah.
Was that before or after the fact, though?
Well, it was live. He did it live. He did a lot of live on British television stuff. But the funny thing is, he gives you a couple of ways he could have done that at the end of the show. And they're very funny because it throws you either direction. He tells you two ways. Like either he had a guy who worked there, or no, either he went through this whole program of probability and calculated the numbers and did all this stuff and then just predicted it. He goes, or we had a guy who worked there and he switched the numbers out for us.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
We wouldn't tell you which because that one would be illegal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so you don't know. But the thing is, he probably didn't do that either.
But whereas, like, he may have hypnotized the guy into telling him or something like that.
Perhaps, but like even Darren Brown says hypnotism doesn't work. He's the guy. He's like, you get lucky. He would. I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Even it was just a very recent one, but he said it before, and he said when he would hypnotize people, he would be surprised. He'd have a third of people
putting up the resistance.
saying, "No, it didn't work." A third of people saying, "Yeah, look, it kind of works. Like we knew that you were there, but we would just kind of go along with it." And a third of people going, "I can't believe it. How did you do that? I don't remember anything." He's like, and you just work with that third.
Yeah. You got to
You know
just
what I mean?
finding them for that third. Yeah.
You got to pick your audience. I've hypnotized someone, and I'd never before. I've hypnotized someone before, and I had never even tried to hypnotize somebody in my life.
So you sort of did it accidentally.
I did it. It's a con job. If you are confident enough that it's going to work, it works. It's at a family Christmas, and I was new to the family, just showing off a little bit, and and it worked, and they didn't remember. Like I might have picked somebody who was a little bit weaker in the mind, making it. And that's the thing is being a con job. I didn't know these people, and it was rude of me to do that.
What'd you make him do?
Nothing silly, but just say stuff and like forget their name or whatever. And it was just, because being a hypnotist would be an arrogant thing because you've got to pick on people who are weak-minded in a sense, like people that you think that can be pushed over.
Yeah, you're judging someone's
And if you're in a
mentality.
family situation and you see someone who's just like, yep, no problems, I'll do that, you know that they're more suggestible and they're more eager to please. And if they're eager to please, then they can be targeted and gone, okay, you're going to do this for me. You don't want to make me look like an idiot. You don't want to look like an idiot. Let's just do this. And it works, and sometimes they believe it works. Sometimes you just get like a fucking arrogant someone who's trying, the type of person who
they don't want to make you, they'd rather make you look like the fool.
That's it. So you try to not work with those people. And that's unfortunately another situation that Darren Brown is in control of, in the same sense that what I was talking about there about losing control, he's got to be the person in control. But there's a couple of different ways to do magic, and one of them is to you always all right, so the crux of a magician is something that they don't know. Now, the other part of that is, how do you deal with that? Are you an arrogant prick and you make everyone look like an arsehole and you look better than them? Or are they in on it somehow? Does it make everybody enriched for the end of it?
Yep.
So that's the thing is, do you want to be the guy like, hey, I got cards. I know more than you. Fuck you, you're silly. I know more than you. Or do you want to be like, whoa, isn't that amazing? How cool is that? What can we do together? And a lot of the times putting something in their hands to get them to do some work, you know what I mean?
To make
magic.
them...
So if you can take the magic out of your hands and put it in their hands, then I can imagine how that makes it more of a better experience. Exactly. Better than just being some arrogant prick telling people how to fucking deal cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Make it more interactive.
It's very cool. But yeah, Darren Brown's a master of that stuff. And like, the guys in the magic community kind of poo-poo him a little bit. But I think it's in any, like guys who think...
Why? Why do they poo-poo him?
Think about this. You're a skater, right? You've been skating for 30 years. But Tony Hawk's got a video game out and you don't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's just tall poppy shit. A lot of people, I could do that better. And it's like, that's great, man.
But they got an understanding of how it all works too, so they're just sitting there going,
yeah, but that's fine.
I get it. That's a hack.
I'm sure,
a hack.
I'm sure you watch other people's camera work and videos and go, I could have done this, but I'm sure you don't go, the guy's a fuckhead. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because you've got your own life to live. They've got their own life to live. Good on everybody for doing what they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that... tall poppy, or the jealousy is massive, especially in the comedy community, and that's kind of what drives me away from it in a way. It's just like, fuck, I just can't even be bothered.
Yeah, can't we just be friends?
Yeah. Can't we just be both doing the same thing? That's why I like jiu-jitsu, because it's like, I know that you're better than me.
Yeah,
You've got a fucking belt on that says that.
Yeah.
Also, when I rolled with you 5 minutes ago, you nearly killed me. So that's a pretty good representation. I can take that. My ego can take that.
And the other thing too is that if you want to be better than me, you're going to have to fight me. You know what I mean? Like
You're gonna have to work
you
hard.
actually got to fight someone for the fucking belt.
Yeah, and you got to keep fighting them for years.
That's right, forever. And then, fighting, you're not only fighting them, you're fighting yourself to get to that point.
Yeah.
So
Diminish,
exactly.
rid the ego,
Yeah.
and have a good time.
If you want to tall poppy someone, you've literally got to cut them down on the spot. And if you can't, then, your poppy's going to fall short.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've absolutely hit nothing on this list. But I'll give you because this is probably going to be slightly shorter than usual.
We'll chuck that into the next.
Well, I've got a quick story for you that I think.
Yeah.
This happened. I have a phone number, as most of us do.
Yep.
At some point within the last 18 months.
Right.
12, 18 months. Most shit's happened in the last 12, 18 months. I've been getting these messages for this person called Kazna. And it's like, hi, Kazna.
Right.
Right. We've booked your Bali dream trip. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, here we go. And so I'm blocking numbers. I'm getting them everywhere. I'm getting them on like messaging apps going, hi, it's Kiki from Bali Dream Home. And shit like that. Hi, Kazna, your Citibank account is going up. Hi, Kazna, thanks for joining this gym. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Who's Kazna?
Well, this is what my mission was, to find this out. And I'm writing back to some of these people if I can going, and it's like, do not respond. We get parcels from outboard motor suppliers and shit like that going, your order's coming soon, all this kind of stuff. Then one day, and I couldn't find who this Kazna person was, and I was writing back like, fuck off, I'm not Kazna, this is a scam and all this kind of shit. One day in the morning on a Saturday, I think, yeah, Buding, Kazna, your PIN code for this is this. Budink. Kazna, your PIN code is this. Budink. Try to log in again. I'm getting 5 or 6 messages for Citibank.
Someone's trying to log in their account somewhere.
So I called up Citibank and I said, listen here. Someone called Kazna's trying to access their account, but they've put my phone number into a bunch of shit. Can you get onto them somehow and let them know? No problem, sir. We'll fix it. No worries. And so I disappear, and I'm sure nothing was going to happen. So I just went on Facebook and started messaging anyone who had the first name Kazna. And I knew an address because there was places that things were getting delivered to. So I had this address for this person in New South Wales. And I looked up this particular one, and I'm like, she's like too young and pretty to be. I thought Kazna was like some old woman, was just like, it's me. I'm down in the outboard motor for my son or something like that. But she was a young, attractive lady called Kazna, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like creepy. Hi, I've got your address. But I just said, hi, Kazna, this is an issue. Here's a bunch of screenshots of shit that's happening. And she wrote back, oh my God, I'm so sorry, that is me.
Oh, nice.
And I pulled a Darren Brown on her, and I was like, let me guess your address is this. Let me guess your phone number is this. Because her phone number, for example, if my phone number were blah, blah, blah 004, her phone number was blah, blah, blah 005. So we were one fucking digit away, and she kept accidentally pushing the 4 instead of the 5 on a bunch of things.
On her phone, yeah.
So she changed as many as she could, but this morning I got one. This
really?
morning,
She's done it again?
No, well, it's not she's done it again. It's just one that she mustn't have changed. Kazna, your membership award has arrived. Register by 22nd of the 1st.
She does a lot of
to claim
online
your gift.
Shit.
A lot of stuff. She must buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But, so it was hilarious. So I told this woman the whole story, and, in my family group chat, like, we all have nicknames in there, and because I share the Kazna ones in there.
Right.
My nickname is Kazna in the group. So, like, I've told her the whole story about it's fucking hilarious how I'd tell everyone at work about this Kazna shit, and, we just make jokes about it.
You've become Kazna.
It's like when something come in and we didn't know whose it was, that must be for Kazna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I told her about this whole thing and how my nickname is Kazna, and she thought it was hilarious, and she's like, well, we should have my husband thinks it's hilarious. I told everyone at work it's funny. We should have a video chat one day and talk about it, and I thought that maybe she should come on the show. Maybe we should call Kazna.
We should call her, yeah.
I'll see if that's okay, and we'll say Kazna.
Maybe next episode.
Yeah, we'll get her to. Next episode might be a bit too soon, but
yeah, maybe
because people have got to work. But yeah, we should have a chat to Kazna one day. That'd be
That'd be good as.
I want to see what her end of the experience is. I'm pretty sure her end of the experience must have been frustrating, not receiving parcels and such.
Yeah, it'd be like, what is going on? She would have been on the phone to him and stuff like that.
I thought it was a scam.
Yeah, you did. I remember you telling me about it initially.
This was just after...
You were getting it, and I was like, yeah, that's a scam, man. Delete it, block.
Yeah, but this was just after a rough period. And, I had, like, when I first started getting him, I'd just been in the sort of the dating scene, right? Mm-hmm. And at that point, there'd been a couple of dates that didn't end well, but just didn't end up anywhere, with some people that were a little younger than I was that I didn't really know, and I had heard stories of. They had told me about how they would fuck with people by doing certain things to them with their personal information, and I thought this was one of these girls just going, oh well, he's not going to call me back or whatever, so I'm going to fuck with him. And I wasn't ever going to contact any of the people. I thought, oh fuck it, I'll just wear it. So I thought it was just something like that. But I was pleased to find out that it was just a honest mistake.
Yeah.
But I've never been fucked with like that before, because I don't know. If you have my phone number, then you're a very special person to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I just there's so many ways. I got a friend who had a very unpleasant situation and felt it necessary to get back at this particular person by doing some very funny stuff that I thought was hilarious.
Right.
And I thought it was witty, so good that I just I was. So for example, someone's giving you trouble, and you got their phone number, you got their email.
Yep.
Just sign that motherfucker up to Foxtel. You know where they live. Just sign them up to Foxtel, free trial. Next thing you know, they're getting fucking emails.
Getting a box installed.
Getting a box. I got a friend who got cut off by a truck, and not just cut off by a truck. The person berated her and drove dangerously and tried to fucking run her off the road and stuff like that. She ended up sending him female hygiene products like douches, because he was a massive douche. And
that's great.
As far as I know,
that's fantastic.
That person still, because she looked up this guy's Rego and the name on the truck and figured out who the driver was. Fucking social media's about.
That's great.
Found this guy's address through his insurance. And now he gets a douche every 2 months.
What a legend!
One of the most.
If you're out there and you know who you are,
one of the most. Yeah, no, she knows who she is.
Yeah.
One of the most ingenious ones that I've heard of. There's two actually. I'll give you the first one. So this is a different friend who had trouble with a guy at work who was married and doing some things he shouldn't have. Ended up going on a Craigslist situation and put on,
like an ad.
Looking for big fat cocks and stuff like that. Here's my phone number, this is my name. And so this guy's phone at work was just going
oh god,
just with all these hard, rigid, big blokes that were ready to fucking go for it. And
that's great.
On her last day of work,
I'm keeping these.
She walks out of the place and says, see you later, guys. See you later, guys. See you later. And then whatever the name she gave to this guy.
Oh, brutal.
Fuck you, it was me sort of thing.
Brutal.
Change your phone number.
What a legend. And that's for being a dog.
And the next one I heard about was... I don't know where I heard about this, but apparently the Church of Scientology will not leave you alone if you express enough interest. Oh, I know where I heard about it. Okay, so there's a NASA engineer, former NASA engineer.
So they'll keep calling you and shit?
They will. There's a former NASA engineer who does this video on YouTube. He's done it 2 years in a row now around Christmas time. People were stealing gifts from his front porch, and he made this basically a glitter bomb. They'd steal the package, they open it up, it would squirt the finest glitter he could find all over it, like a whole pound of it. All over their fucking place, and then fart bombs. It would squirt fart juice around, and
that's
it stunk.
Amazing. Yeah,
and it had 4 phones in there, and it would record them from all angles, and then they'd ditch it, and he'd go and recover the package. So he put out the call the second year to get people to volunteer to do this. And one of the guys who volunteered stole the package. One of the guys who volunteered. So this guy had all of his details, had all of his information. And because he makes a fair bit of cash off YouTube, and also he was a fucking NASA engineer, so he's got a quid, he spent $300 on Scientology's website on books. And that's a big investment for a first-timer. For a first-timer for in Scientology. And they're like, well, this guy's interested. He's just spent $300 on books. That's a lot of literature for Scientology, right? So that guy is never, ever going to get left alone by that church.
Because he put the number of you.
Because he bought these books and had them emailed to this guy and put all of his information in.
Oh, that's horrid. Yeah, so they must just call him.
Yeah, so he's just getting berated all the time. Hilarious. I think that's ingenious. That's a fantastic.
That is great. One. That's great. You can really fuck with people.
You can really mess them up.
That's good. That's good. Some people deserve to be fucked with.
It's true. I do believe that. Well, look, we didn't hit a whole lot of points. We were 1 or 2 today, and it's getting pretty close to the end of the day.
We'll do it next week.
Yeah, I reckon before we go, we'll just have a quick pointless question from an idiot viewer. So, Broden and Cody, what do you got? Wow, the bar's really dropping, isn't it?
It's not even intriguing.
It's not even intriguing.
Exciting in any way. It's just absolutely
Pointless.
Fucking terrible.
Bad idea. It was not even look, we made a commitment. And
We did. We're going to keep
stick
doing
to
it.
it. Unfortunately.
If you've got questions out there, send them in. We can recycle those.
Yeah.
Because this is getting out of hand.
Research suggests that some form of engagement with you peasants, makes you feel good about watching our shit. But Cody, congratulations on what's this, episode 5?
Yeah, this is episode 5.
Here's another just really quick one before we go.
Right.
If all goes to plan, this will come out on a special day. On the 29th of February.
I believe that was last week.
Last week. Was it?
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know.
Well, this is all going ahead. But that's a special day. That's a special day because it only happens once every 4 years. And I've got a quick anecdote for you. And I shared this one with a friend of mine 4 years ago, Mr. Andy Dowling from the Andy Social podcast. And the I can't remember what his business one is. I'm sorry, Andy.
Andy.
So Andy,
Nice.
I shared this story with Andy, and it's about this plain deck of cards. And I think I always have deck of cards anyway, just being on the magic. So a deck of cards, how many cards does a deck of card have?
52.
That is incorrect. It's 54 because there's 2 ad cards.
Oh, right.
But no, 52 cards. Actually, yeah, 54 with the jokers.
54 jokers.
I believe so. I think so. No, there's 52. Let's just say 52. There's 52 with the jokers. 52 cards in a deck of cards. How many weeks are there in a year?
52 weeks.
Oh, what a coincidence. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So, how many suits are there in a deck of cards? There are 4,
4.
just like there are 4 seasons in a year. Some autumn, winter, spring, clubs, hearts, diamonds. And what's the other one? Spades. There are 13 suits, 13 values in each suit. 13 values in each suit of the cards, going from ace through to king. There's 13. That, funnily enough, how many months are there in a year?
12.
No. Lunar months. There are 13 lunar cycles in a year.
Right.
A month means the moon, you know what I mean? So it's 13 months in a year, technically. And if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13, and you times that by 4, being 4 suits, being 4 seasons, you end up with 364.
Yep.
How many days in a year?
365.
That's correct. Now, when you add these 2 additional cards, the jokers, you get 365 for a full year. And then you've got another joker, right? What's that joker for?
Your leap year.
The joker is the final day in the leap year. So cosmically aligned, the 29th of February should be called Second Joker Day. It's never going to be that. But I just thought it was a pretty interesting story about...
That is.
Especially with so much magic talk today. I think
Yeah. What a way to sign off on the podcast there.
That's it.
You know your shit.
I know I am shit, but thank you very much and congratulations on another lovely podcast. And hopefully you'll be able to see everything up until this point and further.
Yeah. Well, see how we go. Thank you to all the listeners and watchers out there. We appreciate your time. And make sure you have a good week. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.